The shrill sound of my phone slicing through the silence felt like an alarm clock I hadn't set. It caught me off guard, startling me as I stood in the kitchen, my fingers deep in the warm, fragrant dough for the bread I always made on Sundays. I couldn't breathe, my heart felt heavy with dread. As I picked up the phone, the screen lit up with a message that would shatter my world. "Hey, beautiful. Can't wait to see you tonight. I know we can make it work, just like old times." My hands trembled. The flour dusting my fingers suddenly felt foreign, as if the mundane act of kneading dough had transformed into a relic of a life that no longer existed. The bright screen illuminated the cold, empty kitchen, a stark contrast to the warmth I had always nurtured there. The familiar scent of freshly brewed coffee, which normally brought me comfort, turned bitter in my mouth. I stood motionless, paralyzed by the audacity of it all. A shockwave of disbelief coursed through me. The picture of my life, I, Claire Mason, the devoted wife, committed to building a home, collapsed at my feet, left in tatters like the dough under my fingers. Each word in that message echoed in my mind, deep and hollow, reverberating the truth that Nathan had been living a double life. The triumph he must feel as I crumbled beneath the weight of his lies was palpable in that cold, sterile light of the morning. I could picture his smirk, the way he brushed off my worries about late nights and phone calls. I was his shadow, always waiting, always supportive, while he crafted an alternate narrative with someone else. The betrayal crashed over me like a tidal wave, sweeping all the notions of love, trust, and loyalty into a dark abyss. My name is Claire, I'm 36, and until today I believed I understood my marriage. I felt those words echo in my mind, a mantra from a life that once felt perfect. But now, I stood here, a hollow shell within what used to be a sanctuary. I turned and leaned against the countertop, the cool granite a jarring contrast to the warmth I had poured into our home. Memories buzzed in my head like angry wasps. The day Nathan and I bought this house, the laughter that filled the air as we painted the walls together, the blissful evenings spent on our porch, dreaming of the future. I had sacrificed my career aspirations for his burgeoning ambitions, confident we were constructing a future together. Now, I felt like a ghost, haunting the hallways of my own life, the walls bearing witness to a far-fetched illusion. A wave of humiliation washed over me. How had I become so blind? The countless times I'd chosen silence over conflict unfolded in my mind. It was a pattern I had become accustomed to, confronting red flags while sacrificing my voice and convictions in the name of harmony. My heart ached, not just for the betrayal, but for the girl I once was, brimming with ambition and passion. Where had that girl gone? The kitchen, once filled with warmth and the smell of home-cooked meals, turned into a cold space of exile, where memories twisted like vines choking a tree. I glanced at the guest room. It had become my refuge, a place where I retreated from the loving husband who now felt like a stranger. Suddenly, a thought pierced through the haze of disbelief, a sobering realization. I had fallen so far from the woman I used to be, the one who believed in fairness, partnership, and love. Nathan had placed me in this box where I no longer mattered, where my dreams and desires were merely secondary to his needs. But I wasn't broken, at least, not yet. Drawing a deep breath, I wiped my hands on the dish towel, the rough texture grounding me, anchoring me to this moment. I had to act, to reclaim the life he had tried to take from me without so much as a glance back. Somehow, I had to find the strength to face the long, dark road that lay ahead. There was power in recognition, and today I had witnessed my reality, naked and raw. He thought he could pull the strings of my life without me noticing, but he forgot I was always watching. No longer would I be a passive partner in this dance of deceit. I would find a way to turn the tide. As I stared into the abyss of my new reality, a spark ignited within me, a flicker of resilience that wasn't easily extinguished. Nathan had mistaken my silence for weakness, a fatal error that would soon expose the truth about who I really was. This was the beginning of a new chapter, and I would no longer be the one left in the shadows. I would emerge into the light, unyielded, reclaiming my place in this world. Today marked the turning, for now I would remain patient, biding my time as I plotted my next move, ready to pull the strings in a way he would never expect. In the days that followed, the silence in our home morphed into a heavy fog, one that seemed to settle into every nook and cranny. Nathan moved through this space with the casual ease of someone unaware of the cataclysm brewing just beneath the surface. I believed I could stay invisible amidst this storm, yet I quickly learned how wrong I was. Each day I felt like an exile in a land once familiar, each room a reminder of everything I had lost. I wandered through the halls, each step echoing the laughter we once shared. In a haze, I shuffled to the living room, memories pulsing like a persistent ache. The blush-pink walls were adorned with photos of a happier time, family vacations, birthday parties, lazy weekends spent entwined on the couch. But now, those images felt more like ghostly reminders than cherished artifacts. I would stand before the framed pictures as if trying to communicate with the versions of us captured within, begging them for answers, questions that had no replies. Flashbacks flooded my mind, inviting regrets to intertwine with my thoughts. I could vividly recall the mornings I woke up early to make him breakfast before his big meetings, each careful preparation infused with love and devotion. I dedicated my entire life to building a nurturing environment for him to thrive, convinced that my happiness lay in his successes. I had shelved my ambitions, the dreams of travel, writing, or starting a small business. I locked them away, believing I would have my turn one day. But in doing so, I had sacrificed my identity. The zest I once felt while pursuing my own career had become an artifact of the past. As dusty and neglected as the packages of flour tucked high on the pantry shelves. My heart ached for that girl, the one who danced through life with purpose and ambition, the one who dared to dream big. The morning routine had shifted to a numbing regularity. I assumed my role as the dutiful wife, still brewing the same coffee he liked, the aroma wafting through the air even as it nauseated me now. Nathan sipped it with a nonchalant smile, completely unaware of the bitterness tainting my heart. He'd often say things like, "You're my rock, Claire. I don't know what I'd do without you." Each compliment dripped with irony, further fueling the fire of resentment building beneath my skin. In the guest room, now my sanctum, I chose to embrace my despair for a short while instead of fleeing from it. I tucked my knees to my chest and stared out the window, watching the leaves dance in the autumn breeze. The air outside was fresh and vibrant, contrasted sharply with the suffocating confinement of my own reality. Voices floated up from the garden. Lila, my supposed friend, was chatting with Nathan. I cringed at the thought. She was in on his deception, playing her part all too well. The betrayal felt like a knife slicing through the fabric of our friendship, yet she remained blissfully unaware of how much it had cost me. Her laughter rang hollow. What was once comforting now felt like needles in my heart. Had she been a willing accomplice all along, basking in the glow of his carefully crafted facade? I thought back to the late evenings before any semblance of honesty had crumbled. Nathan had promised me everything, a meaningful future, adventures, and a partnership infused with passion. Instead, I had only ever received the hollow echo of those promises, the silence now deafening. Each shared moment was tainted by betrayal. The warmth we once exuded now replaced by a chill that creeped into every corner of our life. And in that silence, a decision began to crystallize within me. I realized the more I reflected on these memories, the more I understood that life did not have to remain shrouded in darkness. I was still here, still myself, even if buried deep beneath the weight of humiliation and despair. I would rise from this chaos, and this time I would reclaim not just my dreams but also my identity. Each day passed by like a slow drip of water, a steady reminder that time would not stop, and neither would I. I caught glimpses of the old Claire, the picture of my younger self, laughing freely with friends, passionately discussing my dreams, my ambitions. Vividly, I remembered the rush of excitement as I collected degrees, not knowing I would one day lock them away like forgotten toys. No more. The old Claire would not fade quietly into the background of my life. The more I replayed these memories, the more I recognized how vital it was for me to nurture her. I could step back into the light, and slowly I would, starting by quieting the self-doubt that had latched onto me like a parasite. The unrelenting ache within me began to transform into something else, a quiet resolve. It dawned on me that Nathan had operated under the illusion that I could never break free. He'd thought I would remain his passive observer, forever unseated, forever in his shadows. But he was mistaken. I would emerge from the depths of this exile, armed with the memories of who I was and who I could still become. I silently vowed to myself, this would not be the end. It would be the beginning of my reclamation. Each new dawn would see me pulling together my strength, preparing for the return of my true self, a woman who would fight for herself and her future, no longer overshadowed or influenced by the web Nathan had spun around my life. As I collected myself, I recognized that every shared laugh, every tear shed, every moment frozen in betrayal would serve as the fertile ground for my recovery. In the midst of this chaos, I would begin to nurture the new life growing within me, one empowered and unyielding. That fateful afternoon, I felt restless while Nathan was out of the house, the quietness of the space too thick, too charged with unspoken tension. I wandered through the hallway, glancing at the doors to the rooms that once echoed with laughter and comfort, now silent witnesses to our crumbling relationship. I needed to find something to spark the next move in this clandestine game I now found myself playing. In search of distraction, I made my way to the small study we had converted into a makeshift home office. Books lined the shelves, their spines dusty yet sturdy, promising worlds I was beginning to yearn to explore again. As I stepped inside, my eyes caught sight of an old laptop resting in a corner, partially hidden under a pile of forgotten papers and magazines. It was a relic from a time before Nathan had pulled the veil over our lives, one I had deemed obsolete during the rise of his sleek new devices. I hesitated for a moment, the weight of the unknown pulling at me. My fingers brushed against the dusty surface, and in that instant, a ripple of long-buried curiosity stirred within me. With a slight gasp, I powered it on, the screen flashing to life, flickering like a heartbeat. As I waited for it to load, guilt and apprehension washed over me, but I pushed it aside. I was searching for clarity, for proof that would anchor my plans. The desktop was cluttered, a mess of forgotten files and abandoned projects. I smiled at the irony of it all, feeling a sense of kinship with this neglected machine. It was a relic of another time, just like me. I began to sift through the folders, the whirs and clicks of the hardware filling the air as I navigated through the clutter. Then I found it, a folder labeled Personal. Curious, I double-clicked, and what lay before me made my breath hitch in my throat. Emails popped up, each subject line dripping with intimacy and deception. My heart raced as I began to read the words that crackled with infidelity and longing. Messages exchanged with a woman I did not know, detailing clandestine plans and affection I had never imagined he could offer anyone but me. Can't wait to meet up again. Your smile lights up my world. Time stood still as I read and reread the emails, their implications unfolding like the petals of a blooming flower. The bitterness surged and churned within me, transforming into a cold, hard determination. The betrayal was beyond belief. It was visceral. Each one was a dagger to the heart, but within the pain, clarity emerged. Instead of crumbling in despair, the revelation fueled something dormant within me. Quiet determination to reclaim my life, to pull the strings of my own narrative. I had been the one watching, and now I had found something that could unseat him from his roost. My mind raced as I thought of all the moments, the sacrifices made in silence. Fuming now with resolve, I clicked through every email, documenting names, dates, locations, a meticulous record of secrets unveiled. I sat there, breath steadying as I organized the information I gathered. With each mouse click, it was as if I was pulling the threads tighter within the web Nathan had woven. He'll never see this coming, I whispered to myself, the thrill of impending justice coursing through my veins. I picked up my phone and jotted down the name of a lawyer I had briefly met at a community event, someone who could help strategize my next steps. The room felt electrified, a charge pulsing through my body as I realized I stood on the precipice of reclaiming my narrative. No longer was I simply taking it on the chin, apologizing for my own feelings while he carried on with his deception. I had tangible leverage now, a roadmap of deceit nestled within the heart of our home. As I turned off the laptop and tucked it back under its shroud of dust, a sense of purpose enveloped me. I could channel this fury into action, crafting a plan that would not only reveal his lies, but dismantle the foundation he believed was unshakable. The quiet voice of self-doubt, whispering that I was alone in this struggle, was drowned out by the roar of determination. With the evidence secured, I moved with a newfound fervor. I didn't need to rush. Every moment spent planning was a moment spent reclaiming my power. I imagined Nathan's face when the truth would come crashing down around him. The thought sent a shiver down my spine, exhilarating and frightening all at once. I could feel the threads of control slipping from his grasp, and in their absence, I found new strength. The shadows of uncertainty danced around me, flickering but failing to dim the light of resolve burgeoning in my chest. As the day faded into dusk, I emerged from the study, my mind alight with the strategies I would employ. The plan hadn't solidified yet, but I could see the outlines of what needed to be done, how I could expose Nathan's lies and reclaim my truth. I was ready to pull the strings and turn this life back into the tapestry I had once dreamed it could be. Determined and armed with knowledge, I silently vowed to myself I would not be silenced again. This was not merely about revenge. It was about justice, a chance to restore the balance stolen from me. The old Claire, buried deep within, was rising again, ready to reclaim her narrative. This was only the beginning. Days slipped by, each one a calculated step deeper into the layers of Nathan's deceit. Each morning brought renewed determination as I awoke to sunlight filtering through the curtains, igniting a sense of purpose that grounded me in my mission. I became a quiet observer, navigating the corridors of our life together, all while my heart pulsed with the thrill of discovery. As Nathan went about his day, I feigned interest in his mundane conversations, plucking words from his lips like clues from a mystery novel. "Did you have a meeting with that client today?" I asked over breakfast, keeping my voice casual, eyes focused on his. He chuckled, a flicker of pride in his eyes. "Big deal. You'll see. This is the next big step for us." I felt a pit opening in my stomach. This was no longer just about us. The web of lies became clearer with every interaction. I noted the small inconsistencies in his stories, tracking the times I caught him glancing sideways, fearful I'd discern the truth. At times it felt like we danced through life together, while only I was aware of the unseen threads connecting him to another world. I dove further into my investigation, shedding my role as the dutiful wife. Nathan's phone was my next target, a treasure trove of secrets he left unlocked on the kitchen counter, often lit by its own light late at night. Each time curiosity coaxed me to sneak a glance, I braced myself for the heartache, but was met with the raw reality of his betrayals. "Can't wait to see you again. I still have that little surprise for you. You know what I mean." The texts were intimate, revealing an affection he reserved for someone else. I gathered details like shards of glass, each one piercing yet illuminating. Every hidden exchange bolstered my resolve, ushering me further into the depths of my own empowerment. Still, it wasn't enough. On a particularly suffocating afternoon, I opened an old address book tucked away in the back of a drawer. Dust motes danced in the sunlight as I rifled through the pages, a sense of nostalgia washing over me. Nested within a flurry of names was Lila's, Nathan's friend, possibly more. That grain of jealousy ignited, yet I had to use it. I marked her name, knowing she could either be an accomplice or a key to exposing the truth. Then came the evening that changed everything. I followed Nathan under the guise of mundane errands, clutching my phone as an anchor. I watched him meet a woman, Evie, a name I recalled from the emails. Each laugh they exchanged felt like daggers lodged within me, twisting with each shared glance, forcing tears to the edge of my eyes. Returning home, I sank into the quiet of our space, anger threatening to spill over. The smell of my evening meal was a jarring reminder of how much I had devoted myself to our life. I spoke nonchalantly as we sat to eat. "I ran into Lila today. She seemed lovely," I said, watching for any flicker of recognition in Nathan's demeanor. A momentary darkness crossed his face, but just as quickly he dismissed it. "Yeah, she's good company." My heart raced. The plot was thickening. One fateful evening, I picked up Nathan's phone while he was distracted, glancing through his contacts. A new number flashed at me, unfamiliar yet urgent. It was anything but fleeting. My heart pounded like a drum in my chest. With a rush of adrenaline, I dialed blindly, each ring amplifying my anxiety. "Hello?" A bright, melodic voice answered. "You've reached Sarah. Who is this?" "Claire," I replied, barely above a whisper, then steeled myself. "Claire? Oh, I'm sorry, I thought—" The apology hung in the air, ripe with uncomfortable tension. I seized the moment. "I need to talk to you," I said, resolute but soft, coaxing her to listen. We quickly arranged to meet, her surprise imbued with curiosity rather than malice. As the days faded into the chaotic background, so too did fragments of the Claire who had shrunk under Nathan's shadow. I was no longer simply collecting evidence, I was forging alliances, gathering strength, and preparing for the confrontation that loomed on the horizon. I felt the shadows of deceit suffocate him as I unearthed the hidden truths while gathering allies unknowingly bound to what I wished to expose. My mind raced with anticipation as I prepared for my meeting with Sarah, layering plans atop plans, the faint heartbeat of change echoing within my chest. The encrypted secrets were unraveling like threads, revealing the sunlight I had almost forgotten existed. I found myself breathing deeper, moving lighter, fueled by the foundations of knowledge I had built. Every ounce of pain became a weapon. Every flash of betrayal became clarity. I was no longer an observer. I was the architect of my own emergence, determined to reclaim what was always mine to have. A surge of hope ignited within me, the pieces finally coalescing around the looming confrontation I anticipated with Nathan. Liberation was tangible in the air, and I stood on the cusp of a new dawn, ready to dismantle the life he believed was unshakable. No longer shackled by silence, I prepared to rise, reclaiming not just my narrative, but my very essence. The meeting with Sarah felt like a pivotal moment in my unfolding strategy. We met at a quaint coffee shop, a neutral ground where the scent of brewed coffee mingled with the soft murmur of conversations. I studied her carefully as we settled into a small corner booth. She seemed nervous yet eager, a reflection of innocence caught in the crossfire of betrayal. "Thanks for meeting me," I said, offering a warm smile, though my insides churned with anticipation. "I know this might seem strange." "Not at all," she replied, tucking her hair behind her ear. "I've been meaning to reach out. Nathan talks about you all the time." A flicker of annoyance peppered my chest, but I quelled it. "I'm sure he does." For a moment, we exchanged pleasantries, small talk that felt almost surreal. Then, I gently dug deeper, weaving my questions with care. "What can you tell me about your relationship with Nathan?" The words hung heavy between us, laden with unspoken history. The shift in Sarah's demeanor was immediate. She hesitated, her brows knitting together in concern. "I don't want to get involved in anything complicated." I leaned forward, lowering my voice. "I understand your apprehension, but I think you deserve to know the truth." Her eyes widened slightly, and that tiny spark of curiosity ignited again. I could see the wheels turning in her mind, processing the implications of the betrayal somewhat unknowingly shared between us. I hadn't come just for information. I had come with the intention of forming an alliance that could ultimately expose Nathan for what he truly was. As we shared confidences, she revealed bits of their conversations, snippets of plans that turned my stomach more than I had anticipated. Each detail was a piece of the puzzle I had long sought after, the kindling that would light the fire of reclamation. "We were supposed to go away for the weekend," she confessed quietly, glancing around the cafe as if she feared being overheard. The revelation hung between us, heavy with what it meant for the lives intertwined in this moment. "I can't let him ruin everything," I replied, my resolve settling into the marrow of my bones. "We need to approach this carefully, but we can't allow him to think he's still in control." Over cups of coffee and whispered conversations, we plotted our next steps. I shared my findings, his patterns, email exchanges, and the telltale signs that snaked through our life together. Each disclosure etched away at Nathan's absolution, carefully crafting a narrative that would see the truth exposed. We agreed on a plan, a simple but effective confrontation designed to encapsulate his guilt and unease without turning the situation chaotic. It needed to be precise, like threading a needle, and our ambitions were aligned, her investment in the truth blossoming amidst the treachery. In the weeks that followed, I drew up psychological maps outlining how I'd encounter Nathan. This was not just about the confrontation itself, but about dismantling the life he wove while obliterating the layers he had hidden behind. My evenings became a whirlwind of planning, drawing diagrams of our living space, pinpointing areas where I would reveal the evidence I had collected, like a strategist preparing for battle. Each document I had, every text thread I obtained, became a weapon to wield against him. I envisioned a frenzied confrontation where I could expose all Nathan had hidden, illuminating the shadows he thought he could comfortably dwell within. I visualized the scene with vivid clarity, me in the center, reclaiming my voice, armed with knowledge and allies, like warriors uniting against a common enemy. The thought of watching Nathan squirm under the weight of his own lies filled me with a heady mix of exhilaration and determination. Meanwhile, I meticulously collected more evidence, all while maintaining my role as the dutiful wife. I kept my tone soft, my movements careful, blending seamlessly into the backdrop of our daily routine. I was calm, almost unnaturally so. I would not tip him off. Each day I wore my mask tighter, knowing the storm was brewing beneath the surface. As we moved closer to the confrontation, Sarah and I communicated more frequently, sharing insights and strategies. I could feel the synergy blossoming, empowering me in ways I had almost forgotten were possible. I felt strong, not in spite of the hurt, but because of it. Before the confrontation, I arranged to have Sarah available on the day of the reckoning. She could offer insights and help me monitor Nathan's reactions, adding an extra layer of support as we laid our trap. With every passing day, my heart race quickened as the moment approached. I could already taste the change in the air. The thrill of pursuing what once felt unattainable morphed into a battle cry echoing within me. I was no longer the shadow. I was ready to reclaim my truth, my narrative. The plan was in motion, my resolve solidified in the crucible of betrayal. He had underestimated me, and soon he would understand the depths of my tenacity. The foundation he believed he had so carefully constructed was about to crumble. I savored that thought, a burning ember in the depths of my heart, lighting my path to justice. This wasn't just about revenge, it was about reclaiming the life I belonged to, the life that had been stolen from me, and I was ready to wage war to get it back. The day had finally arrived. My heart quickened with anticipation as the morning light streamed through the windows, illuminating the storm brewing within. I had spent weeks preparing, and I was ready. Nathan would come home today, and I would confront him with the truth. I took a moment to breathe deeply, centering myself, letting the weight of my intentions find their place. When Nathan stepped through the door after work, he was in high spirits, but I noticed the subtle shift in the air. "Hey," "Smells great," he exclaimed, casual oblivion cloaking him. I gave him a small smile but felt my heart racing, anticipation simmering beneath the surface. We chatted lightly over dinner, my question about his long hours with colleagues hovering like a specter. "You know how it is. Busy work," he responded, his eyes darting briefly, betraying a tension beneath his nonchalant exterior. Each chuckle from him felt like nails on a chalkboard, a reminder of his comfortable deceit. With our plates cleared away, I took a deep breath. "Nathan, I found something you should know." My voice was steady, but adrenaline surged through me. I pulled out my laptop, resolute and ready. "You want to explain this?" His face hardened, an immediate flicker of defensiveness settling in. "What are you talking about?" As I laid out the evidence, the text exchanges, plans with Lila and Evie, he leaned back, anger morphing his initial surprise into a sneering contempt. "You're overreacting," he spat, but there was a tremor in his voice that betrayed his bravado. "Am I?" I pressed, each word cutting through the air like glass. The familiar weight of his betrayal threatened to crush me, yet here I was, unwilling to yield. "You think I wouldn't put this puzzle together? You're wrong. I see everything." Every time he opened his mouth to deny, I found strength boiling within me. I continued confidently. "Do you want to deny this? Or should we bring Sarah into this?" His eyes darted to the door, the mention of Sarah rattling his composure. "What does she have to do with this?" With a deliberate pause, I revealed my next strategic move. "She's here as a witness to the chaos you've created. Maybe it's time to own your mistakes." As if on cue, Sarah stepped into view, her presence adding to the electric tension. Nathan's eyes widened, confusion flickering as he tried to regain control. "What is she doing here?" "This is about the truth, Nathan," I said firmly, "and you have to face it." His rage and denial crashed against my determination, but I held my ground. "You can't just believe your own lies anymore. It ends tonight." "Claire, you have no idea what you're doing." His desperate defiance rang hollow against the walls of our shared lives, a testament to his unraveling strength. "No," I corrected him, the weight of betrayal mixed with the clarity of purpose. "I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm taking back my life." The atmosphere was thick with confrontation, a palpable tension swirling around us as I laid bare everything I had uncovered. With each piece of evidence presented, I watched as Nathan's arrogance crumbled, slipping through his fingers like sand. The control he had wielded so effortlessly was slipping away. "You're going to regret this," he warned, but the threat felt empty, a last grasp at the power he had lost. "Regret?" I echoed, startled by his audacity. "You're the one who should be regretting your choices." As I glanced at Sarah, we exchanged an understanding glance, an alliance forged in the fires of betrayal. With renewed strength, I pressed forward. "Tonight, you face the consequences of your choices. No more running, no more hiding." Nathan's face contorted with anger, his defenses eroded under the weight of the truth. The room felt charged with electricity, each word exchanged, punctuated by the gravity of the moment. I was no longer the woman he could manipulate. I was standing tall, giving voice to my pain. His rage morphed into desperation as he faltered, searching for a point of leverage. "You're going to lose everything if you keep this up," he spat, but I held firm, my heart emboldened. "I've lost enough already," I said, tears brimming in my eyes, but I refused to back down. But you're not going to take anything more from me. I'll rebuild. He lunged forward, anger twisting his features, years of betrayal flashing across his face. You think your little plan will work? You're nothing without me. But I felt powerful in that moment, emboldened by the clarity of my intent. That's where you're wrong, Nathan. You've always underestimated my strength. The weight of everything I had endured hung heavy in the air, but now it was burning away, replaced by the liberation of truth. The once unbreakable bonds of our union were snapping, and I felt that flicker of fresh hope begin to ignite, a chance to reclaim my narrative. In the swell of emotional chaos, realization dawned on his face. I could read his thoughts, the realization that he had lost control, that I had overtaken this narrative. As he stood there, rage draining as defeat etched lines on his brow, I felt the threads of our life unraveling around us. Tonight, you will take responsibility, I said, my voice steady, unwavering. This is where it ends. The confrontation had come to a head, a testament to what had once been, an unveiling of the truth that had remained hidden for far too long. As Nathan faltered, grappling for his footing in a world that was now clearly shifting, I stood resolute, ready to embrace the freedom waiting just beyond the horizon. It was time to dismantle the life he had built on lies, and with each moment, I could finally feel the weight begin to lift. The room crackled with tension as the weight of my words hung in the air. Nathan stared at me, eyes reflecting shock, disbelief, and a flicker of something like fear. I had never seen him so vulnerable, so stripped of his bravado. I wasn't sure what would happen next, but I felt strangely liberated, like a flower unfurling petals after a long winter. "Claire," he began, his voice wavering, "you don't know what you're throwing away." His tone, once smooth and filled with venom, now had fractures, wobbling on the edge of desperation. "No, Nathan, you don't understand what you've already thrown away." I surprised myself with how steady my voice remained. The calm assertiveness felt foreign yet exhilarating. I was ready to let the weight fall away. I deserve more than this. I deserve a life built on trust, not deception. He took a step back, almost as if he physically recoiled from my words. Time seemed suspended, engulfed by the throbbing silence that followed. I could almost hear my heartbeat thumping, synchronized with the realization that this was the turning point. This was the moment when I would finally reclaim my life. "I never cheated you," he began weakly, grasping at the remnants of his control. "No, you didn't. At least not in the way you think. Your betrayal was much deeper, Nathan. You stole my voice, my agency." I felt an unexpected rush of power, recalling all the moments when I had surrendered out of love, only to have my love taken for granted. But I'm reclaiming that now. I could feel the initial sting of tears threatening to spill over, but I held them back, channeling every ounce of emotion into my voice. I'm not just fighting for me. I'm fighting for the woman I used to be, the one who didn't doubt her strength or her worth. He opened his mouth, but the words fizzled out as I pressed on. "I will rebuild my life, Nathan, and you will learn to face the consequences of your actions." With each sentence, the weight of years of silence seemed to lift, exposing the resilient spirit buried deep inside me. I was no longer the woman he manipulated. I was emerging from the shadows, shedding the layers of doubt and pain. Slowly, I stepped away from our shared past, each footfall resonating with clarity, an unfolding new path before me. As he stood there, lost in his futile denial, I brought Sarah into the frame of my vision. I could sense her unwavering support behind me, the reassuring anchor I had previously sought but never found in him. "This isn't just an end, it's a transformation," I declared, turning back to Nathan. "You may think you hold the power, but that strength is an illusion." Nathan's anger flared as he grasped at straws. "You're making a mistake. We built this life together." I shook my head, a resolute calm settling within me. "No, you built this life on a foundation of lies. I may have been part of it, but I refuse to be a prisoner of your choices any longer." Suddenly, with unfathomable clarity, I recognized what I needed to do next. I had already begun to draft a plan, detaching my finances, consulting with a lawyer in the weeks leading up to this moment. It was time to finalize everything. "Tonight," I said firmly, my voice barely above a whisper, but resonating with strength, "I'm taking the first step to declare my independence. I've started the process of separating our accounts. This life we shared, it's over." His face contorted in rage, reactive to my declaration. "You think you can just walk away? You'll regret this. You'll be nothing." But I saw it clearly now, the unmasking of his power. He had always sought to diminish me, but I had found my voice amidst the darkness. "I'll be better than nothing, Nathan. I'll be whole." And suddenly, it felt like a dam had burst inside me. Years of stifled dreams, forgotten hopes, all surged forward as if the floodgates had finally opened. I felt alive, ready, and overflowing with the promise of new beginnings. "Claire, wait," he blurted out as I turned to leave, but the desperation in his voice no longer resonated within me. I paused, taking one last look at the remnants of my past, the house once filled with memories now reduced to echoes of betrayal. I walked out, my heart steadily beating with newfound purpose. I stepped into the twilight, into the embrace of the evening breeze, and inhaled deeply, welcoming the scent of freedom. As I made my way down the street, I could feel an ache stirring in my heart. Not an ache of loss, but of promise. Life was waiting for me, a blank canvas unfurling before my eyes, an opportunity to paint it anew. Sarah joined me, her presence a reassurance as we walked side by side. "You did it," she said softly, pride shimmering in her voice. "You took back your power." "I couldn't have done it without you," I replied with sincerity. I had forged a connection built on truth and solidarity, a partnership that felt like sunlight breaking through the fog. With every step forward, I whispered the words I would carry with me. "I am strong, I am resilient, I will thrive." The road ahead was uncertain, but that uncertainty held promise. The promise of the woman I was reclaiming, ready to embark on a journey filled with light and possibility. Finally, I would step forth into my own life, unshackled from the past, and embrace the beautiful chaos that lay ahead. In the weeks following my confrontation with Nathan, I immersed myself in a sea of change. What once felt daunting transformed into a liberating experience, a fresh chapter eagerly awaiting my touch. Each morning brought forth the aroma of brewing coffee and the soft murmur of sunlight filtering through the curtains, reminding me daily that I was stepping into a new life. I filled my days with intention, crafting a routine that nurtured my spirit. The kitchen became my sanctuary, a space where I could recreate the joy of culinary expression that I had almost forgotten. Gradually, that space shifted from merely preparing meals to celebrating myself. I experimented with new recipes, filling the air with warmth and spice, reclaiming a part of me that had been overshadowed by years of neglect. One afternoon, seated at my kitchen table, I mapped out the life I imagined. I longed to paint, to rediscover my creative passion that had lain dormant for so long. Volunteering at the local shelter began to feel like a calling, stirring a desire in me to connect with others and foster a community that uplifted rather than diminished. "Got everything sorted?" Sarah asked, her excitement palpable as we strolled through the park, bustling with the life of spring. "I think so," I replied, feeling a slight tremor of disbelief mixed with exhilaration. "It's just surreal sometimes." "Things take time," she reassured me. "You've been through a lot, but trust the process." As we walked, the breeze carried the scent of blooming flowers, and I felt my heart expand, embracing the beauty of possibility. I began attending a yoga class, where the instructor's gentle guidance encouraged me to breathe deeply and release the burdens I had carried for so long. "Let go of what weighs you down," she urged, her words piercing through the fog of my past. I learned that healing meant acknowledging pain while leaning into hope, an intricate dance of emotion and resilience. Weeks turned into months as I redefined my existence. I poured my feelings into painting, each stroke on the canvas echoing my journey toward healing. The art studio became a haven. I could unleash intricate colors and forms born from the depths of my transformation, breathing life into art that reflected the resurgence of my spirit. Then came the day when I decided to submit my artwork for a local gallery exhibit, a leap that sent both thrills and jitters coursing through me. "You've put your heart and soul into this, and it's time for others to see it," Sarah encouraged, her eyes shimmering with pride. With every submission, I felt vulnerable yet empowered, a recognition that art was more than just paint. It was my emotional tapestry, woven from struggles, dreams, and reclaimed strength. As the exhibition night approached, anticipation bubbled within me, entwined with a hint of anxiety. Friends and family promised to support me, and Sarah stood steadfastly by my side. Together, we prepared, lining up dresses and polishing hopes, tethering my past to this bright new step. Once at the gallery, it felt surreal to be surrounded by artistic creations that echoed stories of resilience and innovation. I stood by my piece, a powerful mixture of colors radiating the struggle and triumph of my journey. And then I felt it, the collective energy of strangers engaging with my art, nodding, pondering, finding meaning. "This is incredible, Claire," Sarah whispered, her hand squeezing mine. "I can't believe I did this," I replied, my breath hitching. Standing there, art transformed into a narrative of my life forged through pain and perseverance. The night flowed like a river, conversations blossomed, laughter hovered in the air, and dreams unfolded. Each moment solidified my realization that I could embrace each new day with hope, freed from Nathan's shadows. After the final visitor left, Sarah enveloped me in a tight embrace. "You shone tonight. Welcome to your new life, Claire." "I feel like I'm finally free," I breathed out, tears of relief and joy spilling down my cheeks. "This is just the beginning, and I'm ready for it." The following days unfolded with unexpected delight. I found joy in continuing my painting while volunteering, threading connections in my community. I also re-established old friendships, rekindling bonds that had faded in the aftermath of Nathan's betrayal. I embraced every moment, nurturing my spirit and allowing my voice to resonate. The journey stretched ahead like an open road, replete with possibilities, ready for exploration. As I took steps into the uncertainties of the future, I felt grounded by the knowledge that I was no longer the woman I once had been. Each day brought forth new challenges, but I welcomed them, ready to grow and adapt. I repeated my triumph mantra silently each morning. I am strong. I am resilient. I will thrive. The world was vast, and I was ready to navigate its myriad complexities. My heart pulsed with anticipation, the realization that I was climbing mountains I once believed insurmountable. With every stroke of my brush, with every connection I forged, I felt more alive than ever. I was embracing life, both its struggles and triumphs, forever committed to exploring the vibrant possibilities that awaited me. And so, with renewed spirit, I stepped boldly into my future, ready to embrace the beautifully chaotic ride ahead, unshackled from the past and living authentically. As the weeks melted into months, I settled into a rhythm that felt both invigorating and serene. Days were interwoven with creative bursts and newfound friendships, each experience stitching another piece into the vibrant tapestry of my life. I found solace in my routines, peppered with spontaneity, and gradually emerged as the version of myself I had longed to reclaim. One sunny afternoon, while volunteering at the local shelter, an idea sparked as I interacted with the residents. I watched them share stories, laughter, and hope, a reminder that hardship often birthed connection. Inspired, I envisioned hosting a community art workshop for those who had faced similar struggles. The thought ignited a fire in my heart, and I knew I needed to manifest this initiative. That evening, I brainstormed ideas, my notebook sprawling with colorful sketches and plans. Art as a form of healing, I wrote, excitement dancing through my fingertips. The energy surged through me as I began to organize a series of workshops. Each would incorporate self-expression through painting and storytelling, a safe haven for sharing burdens and blossoming into new forms of self-acceptance. As I shared my vision with Sarah over coffee, her eyes lit up. "This is brilliant. You could be that voice of encouragement for so many," she exclaimed, her enthusiasm infectious. "Do you think they'll come?" I asked, still grappling with moments of self-doubt that surfaced uninvited. "Absolutely. You're tapping into something that can be immensely healing. Plus, you have the passion to pull it off." Her confidence bolstered my resolve, revitalizing my belief in what we were crafting together. With Sarah's support, I began promoting the workshops, creating flyers adorned with my artwork. The response came like a gentle breeze. People were intrigued. I felt a wave of excitement mixed with anticipation swell within me. Each sign-up represented a step toward vulnerability and growth for both them and me. The night before the first workshop, I lay awake, my heart racing with nerves. I practiced my introduction in the mirror, reminding myself of my journey, the battles I had faced, and the importance of this moment, not just for me but also for those who might join. "Remember, Claire," I whispered to my reflection, "you are strong. You are resilient. You will thrive." That mantra echoed in my mind, anchoring me through the storm of emotions. The day arrived and I set up the room, transforming it with bright canvases and the inviting scent of fresh paint. As participants trickled in, my heart swelled with anticipation. I greeted each person with a warm smile, recognizing the stories they carried. Together, we shared our fears and hopes. Each story was a drop of paint on the canvas of our collective experience. I guided them through various techniques, encouraging them to tap into their emotions. Watching participants lose themselves in color, I felt an overwhelming surge of joy. Their laughter and connection filled the room as vulnerable tales of heartbreak transformed into dazzling pieces of personal expression. By the end of the day, the walls glimmered with the raw power of our creations. Each canvas bore witness to the strength woven through struggle. As I marveled at the art, a sense of fulfillment enveloped me like a warm embrace. I felt like I had rediscovered my own voice while empowering others to find theirs. As we wrapped up, one participant, a gentle older woman named Maria, approached me with teary eyes. "Thank you for creating this space. I never thought I could express myself like this," she said, clutching her painting to her chest. "That means the world to me," I replied, my heart swelling. "You have a beautiful story to tell, and this is just the beginning." Every subsequent workshop drew a growing crowd, reinforcing the community bond forged through shared experiences. I felt myself blooming in ways I never expected. Every connection rekindled my sense of purpose. I began facilitating art shows that featured participants' work, showcasing their incredible journeys. The first exhibition was a bittersweet celebration. Each piece told a story that connected us all. It dawned on me that art was not merely a personal journey. It was a communal experience, a vessel for healing, and a platform for growth. I bore witness to courage reflected in each creation, and the beauty of transformation unfolded before my eyes. One evening, while reflecting on it all during a quiet stroll, I marveled at how my life had evolved. "Claire," I whispered softly to myself, savoring the vibrant colors of this new chapter. "You are more than what you once were. You are more than what he tried to define you as." With every stroke of a brush, with every shared smile and tear, I had forged a path from heartbreak to hope. I stood firmly in my skin, my identity intertwined with resilience and strength, a living testament that dreams could be rebuilt even from the ruins of despair. The new chapter was brimming with promise, an open canvas inviting me to journey deeper into my passions. I held a profound understanding that life, with all its complexities, was a masterpiece still in the making. As I walked through the neighborhood, the soft glow of twilight draping the horizon, I embraced the vibrant possibilities ahead, knowing I was ready to paint my story boldly, authentically, and without fear. As the months rolled on, my art workshops grew not just in numbers but in heart. Each session became a tapestry woven together with laughter, stories, and the cathartic release of emotions previously held captive. The diverse faces that filled the room reflected the beautiful variety of life's journeys, all searching for healing, community, and expression. One day, while setting up for our weekly session, a familiar face caught my eye. It was Maria, her silver hair glinting in the morning light, a buoyant smile illuminating her features. She had become a regular, often bringing a sense of warmth that felt like a comforting embrace. "Claire, I have something I want to share," she said, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "Of course. What is it?" I replied, intrigued. "I've been working on a piece inspired by my late husband. It's my first painting since he passed, and I can't wait for you to see it," she said, her voice trembling with emotion. "Maria, that's wonderful. I'm so proud of you," I encouraged, my heart swelling for her courage. When our session began, she unveiled her piece, a canvas filled with swirling colors representing the love and light her husband had brought into her life, juxtaposed with the darkness felt after his loss. It was breathtaking. The room erupted in applause and Maria shed tears of joy. This is a reminder that we carry those we love with us even when they're gone, she said, glancing at the audience. Art allows us to process what we cannot express in words. Listening to her, I felt a profound connection to her journey, recognizing that healing is a collective experience. That day, I realized that my own healing had extended far beyond my personal struggles. It had intertwined with the stories of those who found solace in my workshops. As spring blossomed into summer, I sensed a shift within myself. I felt lighter, more connected. But I was also aware of unresolved feelings tied to Nathan. For months, I had avoided confronting the remnants of our past, believing that ignoring it was somehow sufficient. But I understood that part of my journey demanded acknowledgement. One warm evening, I stood on my porch with a glass of wine, the soft cricket song filling the air as I looked out at the stars. The faint lights twinkling above reminded me of Catherine, a neighbor who had often crossed paths with Nathan and me. I hadn't seen her since I moved into my new life, but her presence lingered like the aftertaste of a bitter memory. Compelled by a mixture of curiosity and courage, I decided to reach out to her, hoping perhaps to connect not only as neighbors, but also as shared witnesses to the tumultuous history that bound us. I sent her a message. "Hi, Catherine, it's Claire. I'd love to catch up sometime, perhaps over coffee? I hope you're doing well." To my surprise, her response arrived quickly, warm and welcoming. "Absolutely. I've missed our chats. Let's meet this weekend." As the meeting approached, a whirlwind of emotions churned within me. Sensitivity, uncertainty, and a flicker of hope. I yearned to confront my past while moving forward, ready to reclaim my narrative. When the weekend arrived, I found comfort in a quaint cafe that boasted rustic charm and aromatic brews. As Catherine entered, I recognized the hint of tension that hung in the air, a remnant of the lives we had shared. "Claire, it's so good to see you," she greeted, enveloping me in a warm hug. I felt a wave of nostalgia wash over me, reminding me of the simpler times before my world fractured. "It's wonderful to see you too," I replied, my voice steady despite the tremor in my heart. As we settled into our seats, conversation flowed easily. We reminisced about trivialities, the neighborhood's changes, the latest gossip, but soon I felt a shift. She hesitated for a moment, seemingly weighing her words. "Claire, I wanted to say, I'm really sorry about what happened with Nathan." Her voice softened, sorrow evident in her eyes. "I can't believe he was capable of everything." "I appreciate that," I began, the weight of unspoken pain beginning to lift. "It's been a hard journey, but I've grown so much since then." Catherine leaned in closer, her voice barely above a whisper. "I saw the way he treated you, and I never said anything. I should have spoken up, but I thought maybe you knew." "Thank you for saying that," I replied. "It helps to know others saw what I couldn't." We spent the next hour weaving through experiences that bound us, our shared observations threading a new connection. As the conversation opened doors to compassion and understanding, I felt lighter, as if the burden of harboring resentment was slowly dissolving. When we finally stood to leave, I felt an unexpected sense of renewal. It was as if confronting the past, sharing vulnerability, and receiving acknowledgement had cast a new light on my journey. "Let's stay connected," I suggested, a new sense of camaraderie blooming. I would love to have you visit my workshops. Maybe even inspire others with your own story." "I would love that," she replied, her eyes brightening. As I walked home that evening, the twilight enveloped me in a serene embrace. I was reminded that healing often traveled in circles. The path forward had never been about erasing the past, but rather about integrating it into a fuller version of who I was becoming. With each step, I felt the ground beneath me more solid, a testament to resilience and rebirth. The shadows that once loomed over me faded into the background, granting me the freedom to paint my future with the bold strokes of authenticity and hope. I was crossing paths not only with those around me, but with the person I was destined to become, steadfast, compassionate, and ready to embrace a life painted with purpose.